All right.
Okay, today it's March, what is it, 29th?
I think so.
I think it's March 29th. So we're out here again at the Houmas House yard. I filmed this video before 3 weeks ago. We went through all the hives 3 weeks ago, and what we did is we equalized all the hives in the yard and fed them, and we left 3 frames of brood and everything. So right at about the first part of March we were here. So now we've left 3 frames of brood, and I'm running across about 6 to 8 in all these hives. So I'm here to make splits, and what I'm doing is I'm taking 4 frames of brood from the hive, leaving that with the hive, and everything that's excess I'm pulling up above the brood chamber, above an excluder, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow and pull it off. So here we are with the hive. I've already removed the feeder out of the hive, and I'm going through. This is my first frame of brood that I come to, right on the edge. Got a lot of drone brood, a lot of worker brood, plenty of food and stores. And the hive's really strong. I'm not just showing this to show off. These hives are just strong. They have a lot of access to food. So I'm gonna count that as 1 frame that I'm gonna leave with the hive. I'm gonna count this as the 2nd frame that I'm gonna leave with the hive. Pretty frames of brood, lots of food stores. I'm gonna count this as my 3rd frame of brood. And it's got open brood too as well, so it's not solid cat, but it will be shortly. That's number 3. This is number 4. And as fast as I'm going through these hives, as easy as it is, I can actually go faster if I wasn't filming. But here we go. Here's the extra stuff. This is what I'm going to pull above the brood chamber to take my split with. I'm not looking for the queen. All I'm doing is looking for cat brood, open brood, some good pollen frames, some good honey frames. And I'm going to take that, shake the bees off, and I'm going to set it to the side so that I can put it above the brood chamber, above an excluder in just a second. There's got a lot of bees in here, so I got to smoke. I want to kill them all. Here's another really good frame of brood. It's got open brood on it as well. Really pretty frame. That's number 2.
Somebody decided to start a war as soon as we started filming.
Yeah.
Having a shootout.
Apparently they're having target practice. This is number 3 for me that I'm going to take. And you can see we got some silk cups starting because the hives are strong. But I'm going to go ahead and tear those silk cups down. I don't want them. I want to introduce my own queens. And I'm shaking the bees off, so I'm not looking for queens. Now, this is the last frame in the box. Still got brood on it, still has open brood on it. Got a drone hatching. Lots of open brood on that side. Good honey stores. It's got a good band of pollen up in here. You can see that on the camera. Might have to be the other way.
Oh.
But,
See it?
I think they can see, I'm not sure. Either way, you can see that they're making honey. We're in a honey flow right now. They're working purple star thistle and white clover and vetch and all kinds of good stuff out here. It's got a lot of wildflowers out here.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm putting my feeder back in. Some people like to leave their frames all the way to the sides because I've already worked all these frames and pulled them this way because I was working that way. Some people just leave them there. It doesn't really matter. You can leave it there if you want to, but I kind of like to take them and just shove them right towards the middle. And I'm putting these frames right below the frames that I'm pulling up. So the heat from these bees down here is going to keep the frames above them warm. So that's why I'm doing that. Now I'm going to take these extra frames that I've already prepared this box. I've got drawn comb down here. You can see pretty white wax that I had pulled out from last year. I'm going to slide that right there in the middle, placing 4 frames. Some of these are a little worse than others, but push your frames together so they don't propylize between the frames and cause you a lot of heartache. Now, take my excluder, back on the box. Now take the frames that I pulled out. My frames are bruised and I'm going to put them back and split later. Right above the frames that I left in the middle down there. That way at night when it gets down to 42 degrees, which is going to in a few days, if I had brood above the excluder, they wouldn't get cold at night. They would have nurse bees clustering on them. So it buys me a little bit of time. If rain comes through, I can let these frames sit a couple more days. I don't like letting them sit longer than about 3 days because the nurse bees start to go back down to the queen. But it'll buy you about 3 days while it's raining. That way, if you have to buy yourself a little bit of time, you've got frames available and you can come back with your nukes, pull your stuff off, make your nukes up, and go back home. When I make the nukes, I'll introduce the queen that day, and she'll be hatching out over about the next 2 days. So that's it. That's how I do it.